Hi everyone out there, and I'm back again. So we're going to be doing some copper plating, and before we get on to doing the actual stuff, I thought I'd run through how to make an activator. Okay, just like I mentioned in the last video. Use the activator to make a conductive layer in your holes. Okay, ready for plating. What do you need? Well, I'm not going to use any fancy equipment for this, okay? No measuring cylinders or glass beakers, stirring stations, crap like that, okay? The equipment that I'm going to use is stuff that you can find in your own kitchen. If it's not in your kitchen, you can find it in the pound store or discount store and what have you, just in your local neighbourhood, okay? The equipment is nothing special. The only thing that you need to do is to get your chemicals in. Okay, and what you need is this stuff here. Okay, I've got this recipe from the Indestructibles website actually. Okay, so I ran out of activator myself, and I was running low on ink, and it was all pretty expensive. And at the time, I could only get it in bulk quantities, and it goes off after a short time, a year or so. Inks do, and the activator I could only get it in large amounts, so I didn't want a huge, you know, couple of litres of it for a PCB house or anything like that. I just wanted it for small prototype runs of boards. So yeah, Indestructibles came to the rescue. Good place. So I'll whack up a link for it down here, just so that they don't get the arse on saying there's my own work, because it isn't. But I thought I'd run through it because there's a lot of questions over it. Okay, a lot of people have problems, and so I thought I'll show you how to mix it up and prove that it does work. Okay, so what do you need? Copper sulfate. Okay, copper sulfate, pentahydrate. Okay. Next up, you need some ammonium. Okay. This one is 25% in water, and you also need some calcium hypophosphate. Okay, they're all the main stuff that you need. That's the only stuff that you really need to go to a chemical company to buy. The copper sulfate you can get absolutely anywhere. Okay, they sell this in bloody kids stores and kids science kits and stuff like that. You know, off the shelf. Ammonium should be easy enough to get hold of. Okay, you don't need quite as much as this. Okay, just got a good deal on getting a ton of it at the time. What was this? About a litre or something, probably in here. Yeah. And the only one which you might have trouble getting hold of is calcium hypophosphate. Okay, you may have to look around for a chemical reseller or chemist or something like that to try and get hold of this stuff. For some reason it is prohibited in some countries. I don't know why, because it's actually used in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, helps with broken bones, so it's in medication and what have you. It's actually in the farming industry as well, in the poultry industry. Okay, because it's in the feed that they give to chickens as well, I believe. Okay, to harden the shells of eggs, okay, so you don't get any deformities in your eggs. So you know, it's stuff that is out there, is readily available, and yeah, the only other chemical that you need is this stuff here. Okay, your pure water. Okay, don't use tap water, don't use mineral water as usual. Okay, it contains tons of crap. Get yourself a purified water, something like either distillated water or deionized water or RO water or something like that. Something that's reasonably clean. And yeah, that's all the stuff that you need. One other thing that you need, you do need some liquid soap. I use some Daisy washing up liquid. I couldn't get hold of any liquid soap. It is online. You can get it in concentrated form from soap retailers, things like that. But yeah, some Daisy washing up liquid, that's all that I use. Cheap and cheerful. Okay, there's not a lot in it except for soap, a bit of smell, and that's it. Okay. So let's get on and do it, I suppose. Right, so here's the kit that I got out of my kitchen and got on the shed. Okay, you might recognise some of it. Got a just a generic cheap and cheerful paint stirrer that I found in the shed. Funnel, reasonably large funnel. 2 jars. I've got a plastic one. I've got a glass one here. Glass one, that was an old coffee jar. Okay, plastic one that I used to clean brushes in. Baby's bottle. Why have I got a baby's bottle? Well, I'm not feeding this stuff to a baby, but it's got a handy measure on the back. Okay, goes up in 10 milliliter gradients all the way up to 250 milliliters, and yeah, why not? Okay, it was hanging about. I don't use it anymore. Okay, brilliant. So that's that. Set of kitchen scales. Okay, make sure it can measure in grams, which that one can. Plastic tub. Okay, used to contain, I believe, what did I have last? It was a egg fried rice and beef and black bean. Okay, takeaway special. Okay, but cleaned it up. Sorted. All this stuff is all clean. Okay, so hasn't cost me a penny for any of this stuff, and yeah. Coffee filter papers for filter coffee. Okay, it's always you want to do some filter and filter paper. Don't need the expensive stuff. Just use some of these. These are stuff what I had laying about. Okay, all stuff laying about. Okay, nothing particularly expensive. Most expensive thing there is a set of scales. Okay, and that's an old set. Okay, I think those. I mean, you can get kitchen scales for something like, I don't know, £6-7. Yeah, nothing, dirt cheap. The rest, glass jars, free. I had coffee in it. Bring late coffee from takeaway. If you've got to get any of this stuff, you can find it anywhere. Okay, you don't need anything special. So, what do we do first? Well, let's whack the lid on that. Start measuring out our chemicals. Okay. Set of scales on. What we start off first, copper sulfate. Okay, you need 30 grams of copper sulfate. Okay, come on. Oh, it's not my set of scales, it's playing up a bit. For some reason. There we go. Right. Set that on. Zero it. There we go. Like I said, it is an old set of scales, but it is reasonably accurate. So, on we go with copper sulfate. Yeah, it's roughly about 30 grams of copper sulfate. Okay, 30 grams there. Rubber jar. Funnel in the top, and pour it in. Sorted. Okay. Okay, got a bit of a lump there at the bottom. There it all goes. Okay, there we go. Got our copper sulfate in there. Ready to roll. Next thing what we need, some water. Okay, grab a trusty bottle, take the lid off it, don't need the lid, and we want 140 roughly, can be a little bit more, can be a little bit less, doesn't matter too much, about 140 millilitres, so it's up to that mark just there on here, just below the 150. Okay, so let's grab some more. I'll do this in my tub in case I spill anything. Here we go, right there. Whack some water in there, and we want 140, so I'll tip some of that out. A little bit more. A little bit more. right on the 150 mark, and it's 140, exactly. Okay, 140 millilitres of water goes into that. Copper sulphate. So we've got a jar of copper sulphate solution there, okay. Stir it on, give it a good stir up, okay. Keep on stirring it for a few minutes, just gently, until the copper sulphate is dissolved. Any lumps of sulphate that you got at the bottom, just crush it up as you're mixing it in. Okay. After some time, this will go a nice clear, bright blue. Okay. So you can see that. There we go. I don't know if you can see inside there. There we go. Yeah, it's all going nicely. Okay, hold it up to the light so you can see the copper sulphate at the bottom. And just keep on going until it's all mixed. Okay, there we are. All done, all nice and clear. Nice bright colour, all mixed up, sorted, lovely. Put that to one side. Top back on our copper sulphate. Next, what you need, we need to sort out our calcium hypophosphate. Okay, so same sort of thing. Flip back on the measurer, zero it on the scales, and we want to measure it out. Was it about 20 odd grams, about 22 grams? Can be a little bit more, can be a little bit less. Doesn't matter if it's a bit more, because we'll be adding a little bit more of this later on. Okay. Yeah, so we've got yeah, calcium. There we go. About 22 grams there. Okay, of calcium hypophosphate. Funnel in the jar. Okay, again. And again, pour it in. Tap, tap, tap. All done. Get it all in there, just like the copper sulphate. If you've got any lumpy bits, any whatever that's all stuck together, just bash it out. And what you want to do is now give this a good stir for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, just a gentle stir, 3 to 4 minutes. And you can see it's got a pale blue. The reason for that is because it's actually you've got a lot of sediment in this. Okay, it's like you've got your calcium in there, you've got quartz in there, you've got gypsum basically. So you've got your sulphates, you've got your calcium, and what not. So you get a lot of sediment, and it turns this pale blue colour. Yeah, just keep at it, and all that we're doing is we want to get the stuff out. So we want the calcium out and the hypophosphates out. Okay, and they separate out, and this is what you get. Okay, so I'll be back in about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, alright, back again. That's been stirred up for a good few minutes. And what we're doing next, we need to filter this to get out all this sediment and crap and get back to our liquid. So you need another jar. Well, you could do this directly into your tray if you want, but jar's easier because the funnel sits in the jar quite easily. So funnel in your other jar. Grab some your coffee filter paper. Okay, there we go. Open it up. Slap it in the top of your jar. Yeah, top of your jar, top of your funnel. Put this one there. Okay, make sure there's no holes in it. And take your solution and pour it into the funnel. Now, if you've only got a small funnel, you might want to do this in parts. Okay, but there we go. You can see on the inside of this jar, you can see all the crap that's all left behind. Okay, so that's filtering through. We take a look in the top. Okay, there's a solution in there. Okay, now that's going to take quite some time to drain through because there is a lot of crap in there. Okay, there's a lot of gypsum, a lot of quartz that it's got to filter through. And yeah, so leave that for a while. While that's filtering through, you want to measure out, what is it, 100 millilitres of water? Let's have a double check. Yeah, 100 millilitres of water. So get your bottle back again and then just measure out 100 millilitres of water for the next part while that's draining through. That will probably take a good, what, 15-20 minutes to get through. And what I suggest you do is every so often tap the side of the funnel. Okay, that just helps agitate up the sediment and helps the liquid flow through. Okay, don't be tempted to try and poke it with anything. Okay, otherwise you could end up poking a hole in your filter paper and you get all the crap back through in your liquid and you have to refilter it all over again. Okay, so just be patient with it. Let it all drain through. In the meantime, I'm going to measure out some more water. Let's see how much is that. That is 120. Okay, I just need to take out 10 millilitres or so. 20 millilitres, what am I on? There we go, it's about enough water. It's 100 millilitres, ready to go for the next part. That's all the water you need. In total, 240 millilitres of water. Okay, it's not a great deal amount. Okay, this mix will actually make about 300 millilitres after everything's all gone in. Yeah, so here we go. Let's have a look. As you can see, we look inside now. It's actually gone down a fair amount. Okay, you can see the sediment around on the filter paper as it's filtering through, slowly building up. Okay, and there is a hell of a lot, as you can tell. This is almost, you know, all the surface liquid that's sitting on top of the sediment. This is almost all drained through now. You can actually see it pooling in there. Well, if I tap the edge just to jiggle this up a little bit, just tap the funnel. There we go. You see there's a hell of a lot more liquid still to go. Okay, just where I kicked up the sediment to help it flow. Like I said, that will take quite some time. I don't know if you can hear it. If you can hear that, you can hear it's dripping through. That is a slow process, so we're back in a moment. Alright, so we're back. It's all drained through, as you can see. Okay, it's left this white, sort of, well, it's not white, pale blue sort of sediment left. Okay, that still contains a hell of a lot of chemicals which we want. Okay, mix. So we get 100 millilitres of water. Okay, and we just slowly pour that through, back on top. Okay, and this will wash through the sediment. It will re-kick it up, and we'll get the last of what we need. Okay, so that can go in the top. It's slowly dripping through. Because the sediment's all collected at the bottom now, it's in quite a lump. Okay, this bit might take a little bit longer to go through. Depends on how much sediment you got, how good this is. Right, and the water's all drained through, and if we take a look, okay, you can actually see at the bottom it is a white sediment. Okay, there's no copper left in that, so funnel can come out. Okay, get rid of that filter paper and all the crap there. There we go. Right, so let's show you what that looks like inside there. So it's a pale blue colour. Before it was a nice bright blue. Now it's come to a pale blue because you've got those So you've got the calcium hypophosphate in there. Next thing that you need to do is to add some of this stuff. Ammonium hydroxide, okay, 25% in water. This stuff be very careful with, okay. Reason for that is it stinks pretty bad, and you're lucky watching this video because you don't have to smell this until you decide to actually make this, if you want to make this solution. When using this stuff, okay, make sure it's in a well ventilated area. Best to do it outside, if not in a, I don't know, a fume extraction chamber where you got a bench fan or something which is blowing the smell away from you. But make sure it is in an open environment. So, and yeah, it does reek. So that's the whole reason, another reason why I'm using a bulb, because it actually comes with a top. Okay, so when I pour out my ammonium into this, okay, I can measure out what I need, pour it in, top straight on the bottle. Okay, doesn't stink until I can get it to a tap and wash it out. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, and I'm going to do this in the lab because it's a more open area. Alright, so we're back again, and we want to measure out 40 millilitres of this. Oh man, it reeks. And that's 40 millilitres. Do it as quickly as possible. Straight in, cap on, give this a stir. And you'll notice little silvery flecks or something, okay, in the solution. Perfectly normal. Mix up. Oh man, that stuff absolutely reeks, and as you can see, it's got a really dark colour in there, okay, so there it is, a really dark colour. What we'll do next, chuck in about 5 millilitres of liquid soap. So about 5 in there. And that's really just to mask the smell of the ammonium, and also, okay, it helps wetting of the holes. Okay. And I'm gonna mix it up. Okay, it will go thicker in here. Okay, so that is all done, all mixed up. There's just one little stage to go. Okay, and then we're all done. So we'll go back into the office for that because we have to weigh out some more calcium hypophosphate. That goes into this. Alright, so we're back. There's a solution that we've done so far. Okay, and so it's got all the dubras in it, it's almost done. All that we need to do, weigh out a bit more of the stuff, calcium. Okay, now we want, how many grams was it? I think it's about 18 grams or so. Was it 18 grams? I can't bloody remember. Let's have a quick check of my paperwork. 10 grams. Where did I get 18 from? Okay, so I want about 10 grams of this. Let's give it a measure out. $10 grams. There it is. The calcium. Okay, and what we want to do, grab our tray. onto the tray, nice square one, white, because our PCBs are square. Okay, it's just the right size. And we want to chuck in a calcium hypophosphate, give it a stir. And bash out the lumps if you've got any lumps in there. Give it a gentle stir. And we're good to go. Why did I say get a plastic tray for this? Well, like I said, it's easy to put your PCBs in because they'll be that sort of shape. Okay, you can do a PCB about 10 centimeters by 5, and also you got a nice lid. Okay, so you can't splash it if you do knock it. Brilliant. This liquid, okay, it will keep for ages. Okay. I've done my first liquid. I've made up a huge batch of this into an A4 tray, size tray, because I can do up to A4 type panels. But you know, you got enough there to get started with, really. So that's it. Lid on. Keep it in a cool place, out of direct sunlight. Okay, and we can start using it. So for the next video, okay. Plating, we're actually going to use this solution. We won't use the solution that I've already made up. What I use, we're going to use this one. Okay, and we'll bake up. We'll use this board in it, which I was using for testing. While I was showing you the holes for. Okay, a little test board, and we're going to use this in the solution. So I'll show you how to use this. I'll show you how to plate in a plating tank. The processes and so on. So, see you next time. Right, actually, before I go, just a couple of things on safety about that stuff. Okay, if you do, don't drink it. Okay, because it is toxic. Okay, it contains, you know, copper. Okay, it's got copper in there from copper sulfate, so it is poisonous. If you get it on your hands, don't worry too much. Okay. It's not going to eat your flesh off or anything like that. Just wash your hands, okay, in detergent, okay, to get rid of the crap. That ammonium stuff, when you do it yourself, make sure that you wear rubber gloves when you're doing it, and maybe an apron or something. If you do have an accident with it, that stuff really does stink to hell, and if you get it on your skin, it can dry out your skin, okay, cause it to crack or what have you. If you've got an allergic reaction to it, it can be quite nasty. Bloody hell, they're making a noise out there today. Got scaffolders outside. Oh, it's going to be banging all day. Anyway, yeah, if you do spill it on the bench, make sure that you wipe it up and clean up the surface with some surface cleaner. And yeah, that's it. Just be careful using it. Okay, it's not going to kill you or anything like that, but yeah, you'll probably end up with a nasty stomachache if you get it on your hands and you eat your food with it. It's not going to be nice for you, so it's a bit common sense really. Okay, you do chemicals, make sure that you do glove yourself up. Yeah, so see you making proper through holes later on.